beautiful people, we're making this Zara cap. Yep. So to begin with, we have our fabrics. I'm going to lay down the materials needed for this task. It's a very simple one. Yeah. So I am dropping the materials now. Yeah, this is the list. So you're going. I think there are some materials that I didn't mention, but going over the video, you are going to see all that I made use of. The ones that I took out, and then like this one I did not I ended up not using it rather. So this is my fabric. You pick any fabric of choice. You can either use your ashoki, that means you've cut it and joined it, and then you take your measurement. The measurement for this one now is 27 inches. Yeah, because I wanted it extra big, because I was going to add an elastic at the back of the head so that it can fit any head size. You do this only when you are not too sure about the person's head size. Maybe you're making an order for someone that is not around, and you want to be very, you want to come out perfect when you want it to come out perfect when you're done with it, because when you make this particular size, it's going to fit any head size, because the elastic is going to shrink it. It will make it either smaller, and then when you wear it, it will expand. As if your head is bigger, it will still work. So this is me. I've cut my marker and I've put it inside. Now this is the wrong side facing me, the wrong side of the fabric facing me. So I've put my marker inside it. So I'm going to fold it over. Yeah, I'm folding the fabric over on top like that. So I'm going to sew it all the way to the end, from the middle all the way to the end, the other end. Just watch and learn. So it's not difficult, guys. You see that? Yeah, this is me sewing it now, taking it all the way through it, sewing it to the end, and then I'll do same for the other end. You sew it. Let me tell you about something about the Zara capping. If you know how to tie it, I think it's cool. But if you don't know how to tie it, making it is very easy. You can use your needle and thread as well to make something very simple, and it will sit pretty on your head. Nobody will even know whether or not it was a sewing machine that did the work. Now this is me trying to secure my marco inside, so it doesn't get moving when you're wearing it. So you stitch this end and then the other end as well. You run it through like that, just the way I'm doing it, like this. Make sure you are sewing neatly. Once you are sewing it, ensure that your sewing is clean, so you don't get the rough work at the end of the day. So this is me done with this. Now this is the good face. Okay, I have folded the good face in, and then I'm going to sew it all the way down. But before then, I'll give it a curve. Just watch as I do it. I'll give it a curve. If you're familiar with turban making, this process is entirely very easy to understand, because if you're curving it, that place is not going to come out bulky. That's just the aim of curving. But if you don't want to curve, it's all well and good, it's still going to come out very fine. This is it. For my ashokis, most of the times I don't curve. I don't do that curving, because I don't want to start turning it. I don't like to see rough ends when I do my work. No, I don't like that. I don't like seeing it. So people will be comfortable leaving it like that rough, but no, I don't. It's a taboo. Okay, now watch me. Now I'm going to use a bias strip to run this over and then cover it to conceal the rough edges, or the raw edges rather. Yep, this is me trimming off excess fabric. You trim off excess fabric to make your work easy and that place less bulky. Yeah, now you sew the thing down. If you know how to use your bias to tape and cover or turn your neckline on your blouse or your cloth, It's exactly the same thing I'm doing right here, except for the fact that this one is a Zara cap, not a blouse, not a top, not a gown, not a whatever thing or whatever else you're familiar with. So you sew it all the way down and then you flip it to the other side and then you sew down. This is it. I've opened the bias. I actually literally opened and laid it on the fabric and then sewed one end on top of the fabric. I don't know how to explain, but if you're watching it very well, you understand it. You know that, yes, I'm explaining it the best way I can. And that's my child keep moving and moving inside the house. He was trying to also work, but no, no way. This is it, guys. I've done that. So I'm just literally going to sew the other side. This is me adjusting the fabric. Here my machine was just giving me a heck of problem. It was giving me plenty wahala with so much stress. But God won. Thank Jesus, nothing happened. I actually ended up doing the work. And then it came out very fine. So you see, this is me running it through at the other end too. So this side is completely covered, meaning that my work now is my raw edges are sealed. I've sealed them. I've bandaged it. Now we have a neat work. You can see that. See how neat it looks. Yeah, you don't have excuse not to have a neat job. When you're making for a client, you don't have any excuse, especially when you're paid for that job. You don't give people a shabby looking job. No. So now this is me. I'm trying to show us how to crunch this inside, like you're going to run gathered stitches or loose stitches. I don't know, whichever words you use to describe it. Sharon, gathered stitches or loose stitches all the way after the band to the end. So you're going to do that again. You continue the process. That you repeat the process. You take it back. Yes, just like I'm doing right now. Taking it back. You take it back. You take it back. Take it back. Don't mind me. I'm trying to be silly right now. So you take it back all the way back, until you've successfully gathered it neatly. Yeah, and then you tie. This is to ensure extra security, that the work is actually very secured, and then you don't have any reason to fear that this thing is going to rip off one unfortunate day. That unfortunate day will never come in Jesus' name. So now it's all done. The cap is ready, guys. If we are not putting elastic, you're good. Meaning that you are cutting, if you're not using elastic, please cut your 25 inches. That's if your head circumference is 23 inches. But if you're not sure, you do this process that I'm showing you right now. Or better still, you can still make an extended handle at the back, make it big the way I made this one big, and then you add extra handle for tying. Then you still have your, I don't know how you're going to manipulate that, but there are ways to go about it. But this video does not have that information. But for this particular video, we are using our elastic, this half-inch elastic. I'm going to just run it through the fabric. If you know how to actually sew your elastics on fabrics, it's the same thing. Just put it inside, not in a very exposed area. Do it discreetly, yes, so that people don't see your secret, yes, so your work will be nice, yes. So now you're going to just sew it, literally sew it all the way through, and then you stop where the band stops. No, I mean where that gap, where your marco ends, both ends, where your marco starts and where it ends. This is too much English. where that's your mark, where you sealed it, those two ends where you seal, you start your sewing from there, and then you end at the other side where your sewing stopped. Am I clear now? I guess I am. I don't forget to not let me talk to myself. So so you have that. It's ready, guys. My elastic is in. I have secured it, though my sewing here was so rough. The thread I bought, I don't know, for some reason it was so tiny. I didn't check when I bought it. Maybe it's the type they use for weaving of clothes. So I got it and I didn't check. Then getting home, I found out that it was the tiniest size of thread. That was very annoying, guys, and it was giving me a lot of headache because the needle now is different from what it was expecting. So I had to cut off excess. That's me cutting off the excess trimming. Now this is me making a bowl. I had to slow this down so that we'll understand it. Now this is me I've cut out a big rectangle, a rectangular shaped fabric. You can make a measurement. So let's just say, for me to make this particular one now, you assume your, if you're cutting out a rectangle, I think the width, it will be like this. You're cutting out your shape. One side, the two first ends will be longer than the other side. I don't know if I am clear enough. So maybe you're cutting, your length should be like maybe 30 inches length, and then the width, the wideness of your fabric should be like 15. This is me just trying to like make you understand. So that's what I actually did with this fabric. You can see that it is in rectangular shape, and then I put glue. I did not want to sew this. I wanted it to give me that kind of I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't want it. I wanted it to be a bit heavy. If you want your work to be a bit heavy without using wording and any other thing, but if you're using wording, there's no need. You can skip this process. Just cut the size, the desired size you want, and then you put your wording or your interfacing in between, and then you sew. But I didn't want to do that, so I did this process. Watch carefully, you understand it, guys. You just put your glue at the first two ends, and then let them meet at the middle, and then when they are sealed at the middle, then you put again at the other two shorter ends. Let them also meet at the middle. Trust me, guys, this will not come off. It's going to stay very, very strong. Trust me, I've tried it before. It's tested and trusted. I no go teach you na bad thing. If you know the work, I no go do am. It works. It works. If you're doing that sharp work and you don't want something to like delay you, or you don't have material to put, just cut more fabrics and then you fold it this way. Use your glue. It has to be this type of glue. Your water glue, you can use your UHU glue, or you use your B6000, B7000, whichever liquid glue you have. Or you can even use your all-purpose adhesive glue. That one too can work perfectly as well. You see how it is? It looks like a folded fabric altogether, but it is joint. You cannot detach it easily. Trust me, you cannot. I've tried it in making earrings with it. If when it's dry, you cannot detach it easily. So I know what I'm saying, okay? Now this is me trying to check the shorter end whether it's going to give me a big one. Of course not, it won't. So I'm doing the longer side. Now this is me. I've gathered, you make your bow the way you know how to make it. You just gather it all up at the middle, and then you stitch. You use your needle and thread to stitch it at the middle just to secure. So this process, you don't have to use needle and thread to stitch. If you find it difficult to do so, you can just easily tie it all around, and then it works perfectly as well, because by the way, you are still going to still cover that particular middle with a loop. You're going to form a loop. Now I will be showing you how I did that. This is a little piece of fabric, because I didn't have enough left after the whole of my cutting and all of these things that I did. I didn't have enough to use. But by the ways, I didn't even intend using fabric to cover that place. I just needed to show us how to do it. You just cut a little piece of fabric and form a loop, and then you wrap it over it, just to seal up that um, rough ends at the middle. Yeah. So that is it. That's how to do it. So you can just use your glue to and glue them at the back, or you can stitch, preferably anyone that works fine for you, or anyone that works most easiest for you. Now this is me showing you what it will look like after you have sealed it together like that. And after that, I think we are coming to the end of this video, guys. It's very simple. So if you have done that process, I don't think you have any other thing else to do, except if you want to do more bows. You can create another bow, and then you join them together and sew together, and then you tack to the back of your, don't tack your elastic band, guys. Please don't do that. It will give some sort of tightness. It will obstruct it from stretching. Thank you.